Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GRE. We have been solving GRE math problems out of this book here, the official guide to the revised GRE, the second edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 115. Please turn to it. Page 115, number 8. Page 115, number 8. This is the exact same problem that we already solved on day number 6. If you need more help, if you need to watch the solutions to this problem at a slower pace, in more detail, you can go and watch day number 6. In column A and column B. But here I'm not going to explain all the algebraic steps, and if you're lost in the algebra, like I said, you can go back and watch the day number 6 and you will find the exact same problem being solved in depth. X squared plus 1, and we are told that it is 2x minus 1. Very first thing I want to do is subtract 2x from both sides, from both columns. So this 2x drops out, and here we are left with -1, and here we are left with x squared minus 2x plus 1. X squared minus 2x plus 1. X squared minus 2x plus 1 is same as x minus 1 whole squared. X minus 1 whole squared, because it is being squared, this quantity, because it is being squared, will always, I just told you I'm not going to explain everything too much, and I start to write. It will always be positive. I should have just said it orally. This quantity, because it is x minus 1, it is x minus 1 whole squared. This quantity right here boils down to x minus 1 whole squared, and because it is squared, any number that is squared becomes positive, even if if x minus 1 happens to be a negative quantity. When you square it, it will become positive, and any positive quantity, of course, is going to be greater than -1. The answer is A. Next one. Next one is something that we did, question number 9. This is something that we did on day number 7. W, we are told, is more than 1. This is something that is given to us. If you pay attention, between the two columns, they give you some information, and that information is very important. It pertains to both columns. We are told that W is more than 1. And what we are being asked to compare is, in column A, we have 7W minus 4, and in column B, we have 2W plus 5. Let's bring all the W's on one side and all the constant on the other side, so that it's easy to compare the thing here. It's up to you. Let's subtract 2W from both sides. Because if you subtract 7W's from both sides, you're going to end up with a negative quantity, and I don't like that. I like coefficient to be positive. So if you subtract 2W's from both sides, this positive 2W and negative 2W will drop out, and let's add 4 to both sides. How about that? Let's add 4 to both sides. So this -4 drops out with this +4. Positive 7W and a negative 2W gives us positive 5W, and here we have 9. Let's divide both columns by 5, and we're left with W versus 9 over 5. What can we say? W versus 9 over 5. All that we know that this W, whatever it is, has to be more than 1. So as far as we are concerned, W could be, it is possible, because all we know is that it's more than 1. Therefore, W could be 10 over 5, 9 over 5 here is what it is. W could be 6 over 5. W could be 6 over 5. If W happens to be 6 over 5, if W happens to be 6 over 5, which is more than 1, if W happens to be 6 over 5 over 9 versus 9 over 5, the answer in this case would be B. But what if W happens to be 9 over 5 exactly, which is still more than 1? In this case, the answer is C. What if W happens to be 10 over 5? If W happens to be 10 over 5, then the answer would change to A. As you can see, you cannot tell which quantity is bigger, it keeps changing. The answer is D. Because we get conflicting answers, the answer is D. The last part that we did here, 10 over 5, was not needed. That last part that we did there was gratuitous. As soon as we find two conflicting answers, we are done. The answer is D, and that's what it is. The last part that I did was, as I said, gratuitous. Did we learn the word gratuitous? Yes, we did. The word that we just used was something said to be gratuitous when something is unneeded, unwanted, unrequired, uncalled for, unwarranted, unnecessary, something that is above and beyond. See the last part that I did here. We already have a conflict. The answer was B before. When W happens to be 6 over 5, the answer is B, because 9 over 5 is more than 6 over 5. If W happens to be 9 over 5, then the answer is C, because they are both equal. As soon as we have the conflict, the answer is D. So the third scenario that I did there was just for the learning purposes. As far as the exam was concerned, that last scenario that we just did there is not something we will do in the real exam, because it will be a sheer waste of time. The third scenario, as I said, was gratuitous, was unneeded, unrequired, uncalled for, unnecessary. It was unwarranted, if you like. Let's do the next one. The next problem that we see there is on the following page, page number 116. Let's see what we have there. Actually, there is nothing on page 116. We are on page number 117. 117. Page 117. And this is something we did on day number 8. We have 5x plus 32, we are told, is equal to 4 minus 2x. This question is actually a classic example of what I'm trying to make you understand. I'm going to do this question again at a much faster pace. But if you watch the original video, the day number 8, you will see that I spent 5 minutes solving this simple linear equation for the benefit of those people who are not very good in algebra. But if you are conversant in algebra, if you are comfortable with algebra, if you're good in algebra, then it's very straightforward. Let's add 2x to both sides. So this 2x drops out. Let's subtract 32 from both sides. So positive 32 and negative 32 drops out, and we get 7x equals positive 4 and negative 32 gives us negative 28. Divide both sides by 7, and voila, x equals negative 4. That's it. Like I said, if you're comfortable in algebra, if you're good in algebra, then of course you don't need to watch 5 minutes long video to solve such a simple problem. The word that I just used a little while ago was conversant. I said if you're conversant in algebra, then you can do it at a faster pace. What does conversant mean? Did we ever learn it? Conversant. I'm looking at my list of the words beginning with C, and there are too many of them, so just be patient. Oh, there you go, conversant. By golly, we did learn it. And I never told you when we learned gratuitous. It's a good thing I am doing this thing here. Conversant is something we learned on day number 42. Again, just type in GRE vocabulary words, day 42, and you will learn this word conversant, day 42. Gratuitous was something that we learned a long time ago on day number 47. These are excellent words to learn in order for you to improve your vocabulary, because in the English portion of the exam, the most important ingredient is having a decent vocabulary, because otherwise you're in big trouble. Let's do the next one. The next problem that we see on the following page has to do with number line. Question number 2. We were on page 117, now we are on page number 118, I believe. Page 118, number 2. Page 118, number 2. The question is, which is farthest, has an H in it obviously, from 1. A, we are told, is negative 10. So here is our 0. And farthest from, which is farthest on number line? Which of the following number is farthest from 1? Right here, for farthest from 1, I'm not paying attention, farthest from 1. Negative 10 would be way over here, and the distance from negative 1, negative 10 to 11, to positive 1 is going to be 11. Let's call it P to A. P to A is going to be 11. Answer choice B says negative 5. Negative 5 would be somewhere here. And P to B would be negative 5. Negative 5 to 0 is 5, and then from negative 5 to 1 is going to be 6. Answer choice C says 1. Oh, sorry, answer choice C says 0. Is that what? 0, that's right. And from 0 to 1 is just 1, so P to C is just 1. Answer choice D says positive 5, is it? Positive 5. And P to D is going to be, P is what I'm calling this guy here. This thing is what I'm calling P. P for our point. I didn't explain it. P to D, from 1 to 5 is just going to be 4. P to D is just 4. And finally, point E is 10. Point E is 10, therefore P to E is going to be 9, because we'll be going from 1 to 10. Point E. And that's from 1 to 10 is just 9. As you can see, the largest distance, the point that is farthest from point P, is negative 10, because in order to get to negative 10, you have to first travel the 10 units on the left hand side of 0, and then you have to go from 1 to 0, which is another unit, 11. The answer is A. Tomorrow we'll solve the problem that you see on the bottom of that page, 118, problem number 3. And that particular problem, problem number 3, I spent 2 days doing that problem on day number 10 and 11. This particular problem that we just finished, was something that we did on day number 9. Day number 9, of course, the one before that, the one about the simple linear equation that I said was 5 minutes long video to solve one simple linear equation. That was day number 8. In case you need to watch this thing in a little bit more detail. So I spent 2 days on the next problem, day number 10 and day number 11. Again, if you're not very good with, if you're not very comfortable with the concepts of slope and intercept and so forth, I would advise you to watch those 2 videos, day 10 and 11, so that you can have a better understanding of it. But if you are very good, if you are very comfortable with the concept of slope and intercept and so forth, then you watch yesterday's video, and I'm going to solve the exact same problem very quickly. You understand? It's a very straightforward, very simple problem, if you understand the concept, obviously. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.